Let's talk about energy. Even the best and the brightest teams will fall short of their goals if they're not all on the same page, drinking the same Kool-Aid, as it were. I've seen talented teams that are actually more of a group of people working alongside of each other, but with competing priorities, plateau, unable to advance to that next level of success. The best way out of this rut so that you create new growth starts with coming together to shift the energy in the practice, to shift the practice culture. If you want to create a new culture, you have to change the energy that's feeding the old culture. Here's an everyday example of how to look at it. A couple of summers ago, I picked out the most beautiful purplish blue hydrangea to plant in my garden. The color was simply gorgeous, and I thought, wow, this would look so beautiful against my gray stucco house. But within a few weeks, all of the blooms started turning pink. When I went back to the garden center to ask about it, they explained that the color of the flower is a result of the nutrients and the pH balance in the soil. So if I wanted to change the flowers, I had to change the soil that they were being powered by. Well, I'm not a gardener, and I just like pretty gardens, so I decided that pink looks really good against a gray stucco house too. But see, the consulting geek that I am, I immediately thought, this is a perfect analogy for our dental teams. If we want to change the results, we have to change what's providing the fuel and the energy for growth. Negative energy is 7 times more powerful than positive energy. It's the same as the pH balance being off in the soil. Okay? Nothing changes until we change and the energy fueling everything changes. I hear from team members all the time that they're working so hard. And one of my favorite shifts that occurs in team development is when the team begin to realize that working hard is not an essential ingredient to success. Achieving results is the essential part. Here's a common example. Okay, when there are openings in hygiene and someone is focused on how hard he or she is working and how many calls they're making, they are churning a negative energy, all right? This approach, the energy that they engage in while making these calls, makes all the difference in the results that they're going to get. See, when you're on the phone, 92% of your success in communicating will be based on your voice quality and your voice tone, okay? That's another way of saying it's based on the energy in your voice. Remember the old adage, it's not what you say, but how you say it? We've all experienced this, right? There's a big difference between, thanks for calling, how can I help you? And, thanks for calling, how can I help you? Or better yet, thanks for calling, I can help you. See, if you're focused on how hard you're working and how many phone calls you're making, your voice quality and your tone will reflect your struggle. But if you're focusing on the wonderful service that you're providing to your patients by helping them stay on track with their health, your energy level is going to shift, and so will your results. Energy is either going to be an asset or a liability, and it's a choice you make with every action. You may be thinking that you can kid yourself about your focus, but your energy won't be fooled, and neither will your coworkers or your patients. Here's a quick exercise to get everybody focused on identifying the core values that give energy to your practice. First, everybody take a quick 10 seconds here, and I want you to think about your role in the practice, what you do at work. Put your ideas up on a whiteboard or an easel pad if that's handy. I've asked thousands of team members to do this, and I find the focus is much too narrow, and their responses are all position-driven. I'm the doctor, I'm the hygienist, I'm an assistant, but my favorite are the ones that identify themselves as a piece of furniture when they say, I'm the front desk. I mean, wow, we really need to elevate some team members' images of themselves. I'm guessing that most of your answers were probably very much like that, right? Very position-driven. At your next team meeting, I'm going to challenge you to go one step further and write down what you do without using any words that could be found on your job description. Work with a partner so that you can rate each other's answers and nix the ones that really are more like a task that could be on your job description. And then everyone needs to come to understand why you do what you do. And we all know it's so much more than fixing teeth. It's about who you're being when you do what you do. It's about changing lives. It's about restoring confidence. It's about lifting people up. Create a new list of all the roles that you identify during this exercise As I said, I've done this with thousands of team members, hundreds of teams, and the result is the same every time. It always has the same effect. It raises the stakes and it makes each person's contribution more meaningful than ever because it focuses on the what and the why instead of the how they do their job. Once you've got everybody on the same page with what and why, the power and the passion behind what they're doing, the how becomes much easier to work through. And the proof is in the results that you're going to get. So go ahead, be the Joneses, lead on purpose.